Hello, and welcome to the section 4 in the module 1 of our project management professional training and certification program. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this class and also to congratulate you for having come thus far. Okay, so in this section we're going to be looking at the code of ethics and professional conduct for project managers. All right, as project managers, we have our code of conduct, we have our mode of operation, all right, the way we conduct ourselves as professionals. You understand? All right, so as professionals, you have to understand that you must uphold some ethical standards. You understand? In order to ensure trust, integrity, and excellence in your work. And it's very, very important, especially in a high caliber profession like project management. Okay, so having done that, let's get into the meat of the matter. Welcome. All right, so what are these codes of ethics and the professional conduct we're talking about in project management? Now, the Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct is a set of guiding principles established by the Project Management Institute, and it outlines the ethical behaviors expected from project management professionals. Alright, so the Code of Ethics are ethical behaviors, alright, standards, principles. They are a set of principles, and these principles have been established, put in place by the Project Management Institute, a body of professionals from all around the world. All right, having analyzed and observed what is obtainable, what is standard, what is acceptable in the field. So they put together these principles and made it a standard for every project manager to actually imbibe in terms of their behavior as project management professionals. All right, whether in the field, in the office, all right, during your work, your relationship with your stakeholders, with your team members, there are conducts that are acceptable. All right, and that's why we call them professional conduct. Okay, now the code serves as a moral compass for guiding project managers in making ethical decisions and conducting themselves with honesty, fairness, and responsibility. So as a project manager, you have to understand that a lot is dependent on you. A lot is resting on your shoulder. The success of the project is actually resting on your shoulders. And this project is actually a product that's meant to solve a problem for humans, for society. All right, it's actually meant to ease their pain. Whether it's a building you are constructing that's actually meant to solve a problem, the problem of housing, providing shelter for people. All right, whether it's an equipment you're working on. All right, whether it's a training program like this one, irrespective of the project that you're actually working on, is actually something that is meant to solve a problem, to provide a solution for people. All right, so it is for people. Do you understand? So there is meant to be some form of standards and ethics that you imbibe in the course of your work. All right, to build trust with these people that you're trying to serve. Do you understand? All right, and that is very, very important. So you need to be able to conduct yourself with honesty. All right, be honest with the people that you're trying to serve. If actually you're trying to serve them, to solve their problem, to ease their pain, you have to be honest with them. You have to be seen as honest, and then also you have to be fair with them. All right, and you have to be transparent, and you have to conduct yourself with a sense of responsibility. So these are the codes that we should imbibe as professionals in this field. All right, and it's very, very important. Okay, so moving on. Now we have what we call core values in project management. All right, and the code that we just talked about, the code of ethics, is actually built on 4 core values. 4 core values. All right, so what are they? The first one is responsibility. And this entails taking ownership of decisions and actions and ensuring they align with project objectives and stakeholder expectations. All right, so in the course of your work as a project manager, throughout the life cycle of your project, you're going to be making decisions, you're going to be taking actions, all right, to get things done. So responsibility means taking ownership of the decisions. If you have made a decision that brought about an outcome, whether it's an expected outcome or something that you didn't quite expect, all right, you have to own it. You have to take decision. Do you understand? All right, and that's why you have to be careful. You have to do your proper analysis. You have to do your research before you make decisions, because those decisions can have, long-term consequences on the outcome of the activity, on the deliverable, on the product, and also on the impact it will have on your clients, your customers, the people that you're trying to serve. Okay, so it's very, very important that the decisions you will make align with the project objectives and the expectations of your stakeholders, what they actually want. Do you understand? So that's responsibility. All right, taking ownership of your decisions and the actions that you make, knowing that it has impact on the people that you're trying to serve. So that's the first core value upon which our code of ethics as project managers are hinged. All right, so the next one is respect, and this means treating all stakeholders with courtesy, fairness, and consideration. All right, fostering a collaborative environment and inclusive environment. Fostering a collaborative and inclusive environment. All right, so you have to have this respect. They say respect is reciprocal, right? So that entails treating all stakeholders with courtesy. You don't have to be arrogant. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be condescending or assuming. Do you understand? So you have to treat them with courtesy, with fairness, consideration. All right, and then you have to have an ethos, a collaborative ethos, a collaborative and inclusive environment where you carry everybody along. All right, and you are concerned about their opinions and their inputs. Okay, so that's very important. Respect. And the third core value is fairness, and this has to do with ensuring impartiality in decision making and avoiding favoritism or discrimination. All right, so you don't have to be partial when you make your decisions. All right, you have to be fair, you have to be objective. All right, and then you don't want to go favoring or some person at the expense of another person or discriminating. All right, under any basis whatsoever, whether it's discrimination based on race, based on gender, based on nationality. All right, so that is unethical for project managers. Okay, so fairness is an acceptable practice for us in this profession. Okay, and lastly we have honesty. All right, honesty has to do with communicating truthfully, maintaining transparency, and safeguarding confidential information. All right, throughout the life cycle of your project, you're going to be communicating, you're going to be giving out information as well as receiving information. So you want to ensure that you're truthful, you're honest in your communication, you give accurate information, researched information. All right, because people are going to be taking actions based on those information that you give them. So it has to be information that is authentic and accurate. All right, you don't want to assume anything here. Okay, so you want to maintain truthfulness. You want to be transparent with every one of your stakeholders. And then there are certain times that you have information maybe about your client or your customers, or even about your project team members, and this information are meant to be confidential. Okay, so you don't have to go divulging information that's meant to be private or confidential, just like that. All right, so you must have terms in place that will help protect confidential information. All right, so honesty is a very important core value for that drives our practice as project managers. Okay, all right, so keep up the excellent work, and we'll continue in our PMP journey. Okay, all right, so let's look at ethical standards in this profession. Now, the code outlines specific ethical standards. All right, the code that we talked about, the code, the core values. All right, they outline specific ethical standards, and they include integrity and honesty, respect for individuals, fairness and transparency, responsibility for actions, and confidentiality. Okay, conflict of interests, compliance with laws and regulations. And now, when we talk about application of these ethical standards, we will explore real-life scenarios where the code of ethics and professional conduct guides project managers in making ethical choices. So we're going to look at that in a short while. All right, so you have to understand that these are practicable elements. All right, talking about the code of conducts, the ethical standards, they are practicable. They have to be seen. All right, you have to be seen to be ethical. You have to be seen to be honest. You have to be seen to be fair. Do you understand? So there are things that are practicable, not just things you have in your head. So we're going to look at how these are applied in real life scenarios during a project execution. Okay. Alright, so what are the key takeaways from this section? Firstly, you've understood the purpose and significance of the Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct in project management. We've also talked about the core values and ethical standards that must be upheld by project management professionals. And we've been able to recognize the importance of ethical behavior in building trust and credibility. Okay, now we're going to apply these codes and principles to real project management scenarios. Like I said, we'll look at that in a short while. All right, so with that, I want to say congratulations on completing the section on the Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct. In the next segment, we'll delve into the foundational elements that form the bedrock of successful project management. Okay, so stay put, keep up the great work, and we'll continue our journey towards becoming ethical and proficient project managers. So stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.